Hi, it's Sandra, and I want to show you a couple of techniques with actually doing different colors on your nails. And one of the techniques is the one that I'm wearing on most of my fingers, and this is by using a sponge and using different colors on the sponge and then dabbing it on your fingers. And I'm going to show you that, but first what I want to do is show you how to use this Maniology plate M319. And you may already know how. I do have some helpful little hints, and what I want to show you is just how I do it, how I use this plate. So here's a nail that I just painted white, and I always start with the white base. You could start with the lightest color, but I think that the actual white works the best. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm going to use these light colors. Well, let me do pink in this peachy color, so it's actually shows up well. And I'm going to use Watermelon Float B43, that's this one, and Love Potion is the pink, and it's B292. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this nail that's white. So the best way to do this is to get yourself a stiff, kind of thick scraper. And obviously you have to use stamping polish, which is can be good, but it's really nice when you don't have to use stamping polish. And that's what I like so much about using a sponge, because when I did these, I didn't need to use stamping polish. So I have more variety in regular polish than I do stamping polish. So I think that's why I probably like that method better. I know you've heard me complain about this before, and I was trying to do kind of a yellow, and I just don't have a good yellow for Maniology, and I can't find a really good yellow. So if I could use my regular polish, I have good yellows for that. Okay, so I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to scrape it light, scrape it again, and then I'm going to take my stamper, and I'm going to lightly go over it. And there is my color. And then I'm just going to stamp it on the nail. And then you can see where there's places that I missed. You can take whatever is left on the stamper and you can stamp it on there. Don't try to push it down with anything but the stamper. And there you go. So that is using this. Now, if you want to do another layer, if you don't think that's thick enough, you can certainly do another layer. But this is a great way to stamp on multiple colors, and it dries extremely quick. So there it is. And let me put some, blow this off a little, put some smudge-free top coat just because I have it here. And it should be pretty dry by now. So that's how you use that plate. Now, what you want to do is when you scrape, you don't want a heavy hand. You want it to be light. A light touch in picking up the color and a light touch in stamping it. So there you go. So that's one technique of covering your nail with polish. That's different than just using the brush. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this technique where I use the sponge. So the first thing I want to do, just like I did on this one, is I'm going to take my white polish. And I'm very sloppy. In case you don't know this about me, I am an extremely sloppy painter, but I can get it off with acetone. So I really don't worry about it too much. And it's going to be messy when I put, when I start sponging it on there. So there's one. There's the second one. And then I'm going to do my other hand too, because I have two on there that I didn't finish. And then I will be right back and show you how to use a sponge. Okay, so here's the sponge I used on the other fingers, and hopefully it's not too dry so that it will do a good job. It feels kind of dry, so we'll see how it works. So I have 4 colors, and they're all by Color Club. Here's Color Club. And I'm using, I'm sorry, Feathered Hair Out to There, which is the pink. I'm using a green, and these are their light fluorescents. This one is Under the Black Light. It's like a green. This peachy one is called, I'm trying to read them upside down, Hot, Hot, Hot Pants. And then the last one is, and this is like a yellow, a golden yellow, Disco's Not Dead. Okay, so those are the colors I'm using. So what you want to do is take the tops off of the paint, of the nail polish, and then you're just going to, and I use the side of the brush so that way you can get more paint color on there. So I did pink, then I did the green, then I'm going to do the peach, and then I'm going to do the yellow. And then I'm going to do this right on top of my white nail. Now, a normal person would use either some kind of latex, protection so that you don't get this all over your nails. But I don't like to do that. I think it's a pain in the butt putting it on, and I think it's a pain in the butt taking it off. So I always just do this. And then after I'm all done with everything, then I just clean it up. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep putting this on. And you can get like maybe 1.5 fingers by not doing it, by not putting more paint on in between each coat, or each finger. But usually you need it's one application per paint. So just like I did that, I'm just going to put it on my nail, and I'm just going to lightly dab, 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 dab all the way over, and hopefully on the sides. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to do this one too, see if I can get some, there's enough in there to do it. And not really, but that's fine because I'm going to have to do multiple coats of this. So I'm going to go ahead and do another. I'm going to do the one that I just used the other finger with. Okay, so I'm just going to dab it again. Dab, 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 dab. And try to get on the sides and everything. Now, if I don't get everything, the sides covered, then I just go in with a thin brush and finish off those sides. Okay, so that's coat number 1. So you're going to want to do 2 or 3 coats with this so that you can get it the color that you want. So I'm going to continue this, and when I'm done, when I think the colors are dark enough, then I'm going to show you what I do. So I'll be back. Okay, so I got it as dark as I want, and you can see on the side here where the sponge just did not go through to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little brush, this little detail brush, and I'm just going to paint, just add a little bit of paint on the side just so that you can't see, so the white is kind of covered. I really cannot stand white polish, and so I don't like it really, showing up on this. Now, the good thing is most of it's going to be covered by the stamp, but sometimes these, when they're deep like this on the sides of your fingers, even the stamp won't go in there. So I just do a little bit of repair, nothing fancy. I can't freehand anything, so don't think that this takes any talent. I see people who, completely draw around. They're stenciling, they're stamping because they want a different color or something. I can't do that. I cannot draw a straight line, and I cannot paint a straight line. So there you go. So I'm just kind of covering this a little bit. I actually got too much paint on there, but that's okay. And then I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to stamp it with the same flower pattern that's on my other fingers. So let's finish this up. Not getting enough paint on this. Okay, there we go. All right, so let that dry for a couple seconds. And then I'm going to stamp them. So let me put this away. Put the colors. All right. All right, so the actual stamp that I'm using is, I believe this was Born Pretty. I can't swear to it. It's BPL 029. You know, maybe, I don't know. I don't know who sold this plate. I don't know if it's Born Pretty, or I doubt it was any kind of Maniology because it wouldn't have that BP. So anyway, that's the plate that I have. Don't know if it's available anymore or who has it. It is a beautiful plate though. The daisies on here are outstanding. I really like these here. And then I like the one that I'm using now, which is just these, it looks like hibiscus. So I'm going to get that, and I'm going to get my black stamping polish. And let's get a stamper that's cleaned off. Bundle Monster, that's what I was thinking. Maniology used to be Bundle Monster, but I don't think that's their, I don't think they have BP on there. I think it's BM or something. All right, so I'm just gonna clean this off. Get my handy dandy scraper here. Get this on here. Scrape it off. And I'm going to do it on here. And then do it on my other fingers. When I don't reverse paint, I really like to have, and I leave the images open, I really like to have like multiple colors on there. I don't know why, it just, to me, it just looks better. So it looks more, I don't know, artistic, more unusual. You know, you'll get more compliments if you have either it reverse painted or if you have different colors under there. So now I'm going to do my other hand. Get that one done. And yes, I could save lots of time by putting on the latex stuff around my nail, or those little sticky things that Maniology sells. I can't remember what they're called. But I don't know. To me, it just takes too much time, and I'd rather just clean it up all at once and not worry about it. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to put this one on. Okay, and I got one more. So the other thing is this one actually would have looked cool too, is this one that's a negative. That one would have looked neat too on there because they have all the colors underneath, and that would have, if I did it in black, so those would have popped through the black. but I really wanted to have a light summery look. So I didn't want black to be the main color of my nail. So now what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to turn this over so I don't keep getting black on my fingers, because I always do that. I end up with black all the way up to my elbows. And got my little container here that I'm going to put some acetone in. And now I'm going to use my cleanup brush, and I'm going to clean this up. And black and red and dark blue really stain your fingers. So it would be a great idea to use that protector. But okay, so there you go. There's one done. So even my mistake, my bad nail polishing, you know, I save it for the end and I just get it off. So got this on the back here. And this acetone really dries out your hands, as you well know, I'm sure. So it's important to use cuticle oil to rehydrate everything. Okay. Just going to try and get all this black off here. All right, so there you go. And I'm going to do the same to the other one. And then just put my smudge-free top coat on and then my permanent top coat, and I'm all done. So I hope this was helpful for you. And thanks for watching my video.